Hello, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank Josh and Jane for just kind of organizing this, and I super appreciate that all departments, me being the lone HSES wolf here, are represented. I think that the cross-curricular collaboration is like so valuable. Which leads me into my study here today. So last year I stood up in one of these classrooms in JRP. And I gave a great presentation, or what I deem as great, on nostalgia-based branding. And I stood up here and someone asked, Ryan, if a business or a firm wants to engage in in nostalgia-based branding, and they don't actually have any history, how do they do that? And so that question, I think I fumbled through an answer, but that lit a fire under me. That question kind of snowballed into my comprehensive exams paper and why I'm here presenting today. Which leads me into my current study, which is Fauxback to the Future, an exploratory study of Fauxback branding. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, what is Fauxback branding? I've been using it like quite colloquially. Like everyone in the room knows it. Fauxback branding is well, let's just kind of start from the conception of it, okay? In 2012, the Tampa Bay Rays came out to their season wearing these uniforms. These uniforms, they were touted as being retro, vintage, a blast from the past, a nod to 70s era baseball. However, the Tampa Bay Rays were founded in 1996. They actually had no history in the 70s. This uniform that you see here, in its all grainy goodness, is just fake marketing branding. So, in terms of Fauxback, we have three types of Fauxback branding. Now, right now, in its current state, there is no academic definition of Fauxback branding. This is cutting. There is now, right? This is cutting edge stuff. But there are some beat reporters that are reporting on it. So from what they have devised, there are three types. The first is whole cloth original. Okay, that is a very crude way of just saying the team has come up with a design that's designed to look like the past, but is not. It's an original uniform, and it very much is a creation of their marketing efforts. The second one is what is, once again, crudely dubbed as the Franken Uni, where the uniform itself is very much fake, right? It is designed to, it is not rooted in any sort of past. However, elements of the uniform are designed to look like they are that are pulled from the team's actual history. Okay, the best example that I could find of this is these lovely Giants uniforms. And then the last, and this is the one that does have academic literature on it, that is retro. To a certain extent, every single throwback effort, every single retro marketing effort has sorts of faux in it. Really, the only exception to that is that it's basically a modern reskin of what is retro, or basically it's just made to look retro. It's not actually retro. It has all the modern conveniences of uniform technology. So I put these in my comprehensive research proposal right here, and it says, Fauxback branding represents a reappropriation of the past to represent a fictionalized history as a form of relationship development for a brand. Additionally, Fauxback branding focuses on creating the aesthetic of an era that the organization has never actually experienced. Okay, so it is very much an effort to create a faux, fictionalized, idealized past that the organization really has no history in being. Which leads us to our next sort of topic in this research line, and that is called ad-evoked nostalgia. Now, from research, we know that nostalgia is atemporal and can be readily accessed regardless of if you experienced an era. So even if I can experience nostalgia toward the 1950s, even if I've never lived there. Additionally, we know that ad-evoked nostalgia influences consumer purchase intentions and brand attitudes. If I'm feeling nostalgic toward a brand, regardless if it's fake or not, I'm more likely to be positive about the brand and more likely to want to engage or purchase the brand. Lastly, nostalgia by brands can be created through three ways: evoking imagery from the past, conjuring positive emotions, and curtailing negative emotions. Okay? So in doing that, if a firm achieves all three of these, they can evoke nostalgia, in theory, this is what we're hypothesizing, that they can influence purchase intentions. They can ultimately create positive associations with their brand. So we have a bunch of educators in the room. Everyone should be familiar with this. And that is the schema theory as our theoretical framework. Okay? It is basically everyone has mental maps of things that they use to process the world. Okay? So our experimental setting for this is the Milwaukee, Wisconsin with the Admirals. Milwaukee Admirals. It's a minor league hockey team. They have the conditions where all three uniform types are represented. They have modern uniforms, throwback, authentic uniforms, and faux-back uniforms. So we thought it would be a good setting for us. So here is our experimental model that we're moving forward with, where it basically says that nostalgic feelings through the Fauxback branding effort, then we're doing a parallel mediation model here, where if it fits the perception of the product and the brand, it will ultimately influence that brand heritage and then ultimately influence the purchase intentions. Additionally, if the nostalgic feelings go in and someone is very connected and highly identified with the brands, once again, it influences that heritage perceptions. So what is the implications of this research? Okay, this will obviously be, as y'all stated, the first academic definition of Fauxback branding. This will be the first empirical investigation of Fauxback branding, and it will provide insights to marketers seeking to use nostalgia-based advertising campaigns. Ideally, if we find the results that we're anticipating, marketers can kind of run rampant with just creating fake aesthetics for these campaigns, because ideally you can kind of elicit nostalgia any way you want. And then lastly, this will expand the body of literature for vicarious nostalgia, which is an offshoot of nostalgia, where it basically says you can experience nostalgia in any sort of era through any sort of way. This will say it doesn't even need to be real. It can kind of be fabricated through marketing efforts. So that is my research. I super appreciate everyone for listening. Thank you.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Ryan, I really appreciate this. Yeah, and I just want to echo that your presentation last year was also great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give me that reassurance. I'm just kind of curious about like brand loyalty, right? In terms of like invoking the past, in terms of like if the team is like not having a great season, or you know, just having any type of challenge, like this retro branding can be a way to like keep them engaged. You know,
Yeah.
through. So I don't know if that would be another variable that could be interesting to examine.
Yeah. So it tends to be, from what we have found, that that the nostalgia is a way to curtail negative emotions, as I kind of put up there, and so in doing that, like the brand loyalty, especially brand loyalty with sport, is really interesting because you don't just lose your fandom, at least overnight, at least over a bad season, right? And so we actually have thought about putting it as a moderator variable and at the front half of our model there. So I super appreciate that feedback too.
Okay, follow-up thing.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the work of like love marks?
Yeah.
Okay, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit in terms of like, you know, the reasons why consumers like love their team, and one of that is kind of like historical, you know, achievement.
Oh yeah, no, that is a super good framework. I definitely, actually, to kind of formate the study, I definitely read some of their works. So yeah, I super appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions?
All right.
Sweet. Thank you.